Warren Buffett is known for his value investing philosophy and his ability to make contrarian bets that often pay off. But what if we told you that his biggest bet against the American economy is not what you think? In this video, we'll dive into the Oracle of Omaha's most daring wager against the US economy and explore what it could mean for investors and the overall market. Is Buffett's bet a sign of a looming economic downturn or a savvy investment move? Join me as I dive into Warren Buffett's biggest bet against the American economy and see if I can uncover what it really means for the future. Warren Buffett is widely regarded as one of the most savvy investors in history, with a reputation for making bold and often contrarian bets that have paid off time and time again. Warren Buffett is widely known as one of the most optimistic investors when it comes to the long-term future of the American economy. Throughout his career, he has consistently expressed unwavering faith in the resilience and growth potential of the United States. However, there was one rare and notable move that some interpreted as a significant hedge or even a bet against the American economy. This was his investment in foreign currencies and international assets during the early 2000s, particularly around 2002 to 2004, and later during the 2008 financial crisis when he backed some unconventional deals. In the early 2000s, Buffett took a position that surprised many. He invested heavily in foreign currencies. This move was seen as a warning signal about the US dollar and its declining purchasing power. Buffett was concerned about the growing US trade deficit and the long-term impact it would have on the dollar's value. Through Berkshire Hathaway, he invested billions in currencies such as the euro and other foreign assets. Buffett himself acknowledged that this was out of character for him, as he typically avoids currency speculation. He stated in his 2005 shareholder letter that his fear was rooted in the long-term economic consequences of persistent trade imbalances and an over-reliance on foreign capital. Another period that could be viewed as Buffett hedging against the American economy was during the 2008 financial crisis. While he invested in American companies like Goldman Sachs and General Electric during this period, he did so on terms that gave him massive protection. These deals were structured in such a way that Berkshire Hathaway received preferred shares with high interest rates and warrants to buy common stock at low prices. While he was helping to stabilize the economy, he was also ensuring that if things got worse, his company would still be in a strong position. This cautious approach, though not a direct bet against the economy, revealed his awareness of systemic risks. Additionally, Buffett has often criticized financial instruments like derivatives. Although Berkshire Hathaway held some derivative contracts in the past, Buffett referred to them as weapons of mass destruction in terms of their potential to bring down entire economies. His cautious stance on complex financial instruments further reflects a mindset that is aware of, and at times hedges against, deep structural risks within the US economy. While Warren Buffett has never made a massive short bet like some hedge fund managers have, and has not taken a public stance against the American economy in the traditional sense, these strategic moves indicate that he is not blind to the vulnerabilities within the system. His bets on foreign currencies, preference for tangible productive assets, protective investment terms in times of crisis suggest a deep understanding of economic cycles and a willingness to hedge his optimism when necessary. Buffett's biggest bet against the American economy wasn't a short trade or an apocalyptic prediction. It was a calculated shift in investment strategy during periods when he believed fundamental imbalances threatened long-term stability. Even in those moments, however, his actions were ultimately rooted in caution rather than pessimism, and his long-term belief in America's strength has always remained intact. The American economy is currently facing a number of significant challenges, including rising inflation and growing fears of a potential recession. These concerns have led to increased volatility in the markets, making it difficult for investors to know where to put their money. Inflation has been steadily rising over the past year, eroding the purchasing power of consumers and eating into corporate profits. This has led many economists to warn of an impending recession, which could have far-reaching consequences for the economy. Rising interest rates have also become a major concern, as they increase the cost of borrowing for consumers and businesses, potentially weakening demand and slowing down economic growth. The combination of inflation and rising interest rates has created a perfect storm of uncertainty, making it difficult for investors to make informed decisions. Many investors are turning to safe haven assets, such as gold and bonds, which are seen as less risky in times of economic uncertainty. The current economic challenges facing the American economy have significant implications for investors, as they must navigate a complex and rapidly changing landscape. Buffett's investment strategies will likely be closely watched, as investors seek to understand how he is responding to the current economic environment. His ability to make bold and often contrarian bets has earned him a reputation as a savvy investor, and his decisions will likely have a significant impact on the market. Warren Buffett's investment strategies are highly focused on long-term value creation, with an emphasis on investing in quality companies with strong fundamentals. He has made significant investments in companies such as Coca-Cola and American Express, which have proven to be highly successful over the long term. However, some of his more recent investments have raised eyebrows, suggesting that he may be taking a more cautious approach to the economy. For example, he has invested heavily in gold, which is often seen as a safe haven asset in times of economic uncertainty. Buffett's investment in gold is particularly noteworthy, as it suggests that he may be hedging against a potential decline in the value of the dollar. This could have significant implications for the economy, as a decline in the value of the dollar could lead to higher inflation and interest rates. Buffett has also made significant investments in foreign currencies, which could provide a hedge against a decline in the value of the dollar. These investments suggest that Buffett may be taking a more cautious approach to the economy, and that he may be preparing for a potential downturn. One of the most striking aspects of Buffett's investment strategy is his willingness to take bold and contrarian bets. He has a history of investing in companies and assets that are undervalued by the market, and has often been rewarded for his patience and conviction. However, some of his recent investments have raised questions about his confidence in the American economy. For example, his investment in foreign currencies and gold suggests that he may be preparing for a potential decline in the value of the dollar. The most striking investment made by Buffett that supports the idea of his bet against the American economy is his investment in foreign currencies. This investment suggests that he may be hedging against a potential decline in the value of the dollar, which could have significant implications for the economy. A decline in the value of the dollar could lead to higher inflation and interest rates, making it more difficult for consumers and businesses to borrow and spend. This could have far-reaching consequences for the economy, and could potentially lead to a recession. Buffett's decision to invest in foreign currencies is a significant one, and could have major implications for the economy. It suggests that he may be taking a more cautious approach to the economy, and that he may be preparing for a potential downturn. This could have significant implications for investors, who may need to rethink their investment strategies in light of Buffett's decision. The potential consequences of a decline in the value of the dollar are far-reaching, and could have a major impact on the economy. Warren Buffett's biggest bet against the American economy is a complex and multifaceted one, with significant implications for investors and the economy as a whole. His decision to invest in foreign currencies and gold suggests that he may be hedging against a potential decline in the value of the dollar, which could have far-reaching consequences for the economy. The potential consequences of this decision are significant, and could have a major impact on the economy. Let me know what you think about Warren Buffett's investment strategies in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video where we'll be discussing the latest trends in the economy.